learn the city by walking it. That's what we did. I think we revealed many uncovered layers. We revealed many connections and many barriers, unfortunately, in the city. So for me, it was, even though I didn't know this part of the city very well, it was an extremely fascinating a learning experience.
Probably all of you know Kyiv better than we do. And how many of you are architects or architecture students? But first, let's turn around, because we were just asked what we think about this arch, which obviously has a history or a meaning about history.
I think it was meant as a kind of a new style city gate. So the question is like, what can you do here? I mean, first thing, if you want to protect yourself against the cold, you should protect yourself against the wind. So what kind of structures could you build to make this place a bit more wind protected? But of course, it cannot be that you build kind of big walls around it. So you would need to find something very intelligent.
We are reaching a problem that we can already hear, and that's why we're stopping here, because now you can still listen us. But in a minute, the noise will break the opportunity to talk.
So you are kind of separating city elements by having those massive streets with many lanes, and actually it's super complicated to cross the separation line.
You know that it is already used very much, even though, I mean, as an architect you can always help to make it better, and I'm sure there is a lot of potential to make these areas even more interesting and more joyful, and maybe also to use them in a longer period of the year, because it is, I mean, right now it's nobody's there, but you have free time now as well.
As I said, I feel we are very far from the city, but also I feel we are inside the city. It is, as I said, the in-between space for me, where the city seems to kind of be topographically divided from the rest, and it sort of loses the pace here. It kind of becomes calm. But this facade, I see it metaphoric, kind of, how to say, like this metaphor for this facade tells me like it kind of blocks you, like it's like a mirror. It kind of you want to do something, but it kind of, the energy comes back. So it's sort of like a vacuum sort of space.
Square, it's first of all, it's empty place.
I understood that taking a boat trip like this is not something very common in Kyiv. Something which already surprised me if I look around is the way how the city interacts with the water. There's quite a big height difference, as you can see. So at some parts you see stairs going down, as we also went down to get in this boat. I also understood that there's a lot of difference in water height due to the currents. The most important feature to improve is the connection between the existing urban fabric and the water front.
I wanted to talk about this beach because so much of the cities have walled off the water and you actually can't get down to the water, which is very nice and urban, but this is a very nice aspect also. This oftentimes gets erased, so I think it's good to think about that. The other thing that often gets erased are things like the old chimney, which is a part of the old industrial part of the city. Or coming up, there's some beautiful green elevators that are quite lovely also. And so as the city gets redeveloped, it's useful to think about what you want to keep as well as what you want to create as new.
The first thing I thought when we went on the boat, Martijn said it already, we are the only one on the boat. From our view, Amsterdam, it's very strange because in Amsterdam we have at first many boats for tourists going around the channels. but also like a form of public transport. And I find it very strange that there's no such boats here. I see all those people on the other side, and can a boat be an alternative, like ferries, or maybe more taxi-wise boats? Would it be an alternative for going by car or walking?